Hello everybody, welcome back to Jiu-Jitsu Sisterhood. I'm your host Ashley and I'm here with Amanda Bruse.
Hi, how are you?
I'm also getting to know you a little bit. I've been following you. I saw you on a few tournaments, saw you on main character. You know, you've been killing it. But for some of the viewers who may not know a little bit about you, just let them know your rank, where you train, how long you've been training.
Cool. Should I hold this?
No, I'll hold it for you.
Okay.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, so I'm Amanda Bruse. I've been training for like around 7 years. I started training at a small school in New York. I moved out to California to train at Autos Jiu-Jitsu under Andre Galvao. Been there since purple belt, and yeah, I've just got my black belt, I think in 2021 or 2022, I think. So just had it for like a year and a half. Been competing for a while. I think last ADCC trials I made it to the semifinals and had a really close loss to get to the finals. And been, did my first black belt worlds this year, got second. So, just starting my serious competition kind of thing, and got a lot of work to do, but happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Yep.
I'm just happy to be here. I love when people say that.
I am. I'm happy to be here. I love it.
What made you choose to go to Atos? Is it because I heard they have an intense, from Brittany, they have an intense competition regimen?
Yeah, they do. I had been visiting California for like an unrelated vacation. I think I went out for my first worlds. I went to Autos and then I got my butt beaten by so many women in that gym. And I came from a gym where I was maybe one of 2 or 3 women at all, and pretty much the only consistent one. So I was just like, oh my God, wait, there's 8 black belt females on the mat all the time, and this is just normal. And I was like, I think I have to come here. And then it just happened that my dad, for job reasons, moved 15 minutes from Autos from New York. So we went from New York, and then he happened to move right by Autos, and I was like, I think this is a sign to go train at Autos, and so I made the change. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, it was a whole stars aligning type of thing.
I think it was one of those things. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same boat. Just 1 or 3 girls, really. I'm one of 3, actually one of 4 that are consistent, but now one is injured, so it's just 3.
It's different. I didn't realize how different it is to train predominantly with females, because it's a different thing. There's a different level that when you can just both let go. Guys, it's hard to
let go.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, you don't want them to let go all the way, but you don't want them to let you do whatever you want. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to train like that.
It's a hard balance to keep. Yeah.
I respect guys who work to be good training partners, because it is actually hard.
Yeah. And everybody has I feel like every female has at least that one dude that can tailor to just being super technical, and not even the huge guys. We have a couple of huge guys that are just very technical, and they don't just throw all your weight on you.
For sure. It's just very dependent on the person. It can be the small guys, but sometimes the small guys coming after you more than, you know what I mean? Because they're like, hey, we're the same size. I'm like, I'm still a little girl. Don't do this.
You still have more muscles and more bone density.
Exactly.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, how'd you get into jiu-jitsu?
I was about 16 and a half-ish. I remember that because I just got my permit, so I was able to kind of drive myself to things. I was going through a hard time. I had a lot of anxiety and problems coming up as a teenager. And my dad had done jiu-jitsu at a random Krav Maga gym, and he just found out about it years before. And he was just like, hey, I think maybe you need to go do a sport that's kind of out of your comfort zone and focus on something that you can just do skill development and have a community. And so just go try this. He Yelped jiu-jitsu school and just picked one. It was go to a class, see how you like it. And I went, and literally after the first day, I went every single day forever. I fell in love with it. It was the first thing that I was this might be my thing. I really
might be my thing.
Like it. Yeah. So that's just kind of how I got into it.
So on day 1, what triggered that you're oh my God, that's it. It's happening. I'm doing this.
I think it was I was training at a very small local school, and I think it was the sense of community that brought me in. I was so shy, sit in a corner and not make eye contact kind of shy. And it was just crazy that every person, including the instructor, everyone was just being very gentle and trying to bring me out of my shell and make me as comfortable as possible. And you could tell that they just wanted to bring other people into the community. So I felt no judgment. I felt just very safe there, and that was something that was really important to me, because I'm in high school age, right? So high school doesn't feel safe like that. You don't go to high school and you're I feel so safe here. No, so this was a place where everyone was really kind to me, and I think that's why I initially loved it. And then I just fell in love with how it felt to do a sport that was what can your body do? And it took a lot of focus off of my body image that I was struggling with, and I was just doing something that was more practical, and I knew I had to use my body for a purpose instead of just being self-critical and focusing on that kind of stuff. So it was very useful for my like personal development at the time.
Yeah, how interesting.
Yeah.
And then I guess it helped with the anxiety?
100%. Oh my God. I mean, it is like, it's not a substitute for therapy, but it is a version of therapy as far as just like endorphins and community and connectedness. And it's a very unique kind of
like mindfulness.
Yes.
Like it keeps
body,
you like,
mind.
yeah.
There's a lot going on with it. So I think it's kind of a special thing.
Awesome. Yeah. And then what makes you like want to compete at such a high level and like be a professional and like make this a job thing, which I'm assuming you're trying to do? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I just finished my last finals of my bachelor's degree, so I've been doing both school and jiu-jitsu.
Bachelor's in what?
Clinical psychology.
Nice. I love psychology.
Me too.
I mean, there's a lot of it in this too, honestly, if you think about it.
100%. I spent a lot of time analyzing teammates. But yeah, I think for me, competing was so hard. Like, it was so hard for me to compete because of my anxiety that I knew it was something that I had to do. You know, it was one of those things I was like, this feels really difficult. That means I know that I need to do it.
Like challenge myself.
Right. So I need to make that progress. And every time I would do something that felt a little bit harder and harder, that's kind of how I just climbed up and kept pushing myself and getting to higher levels of competition. And it just happened to turn out. I never planned on teaching. I never planned on competing. I never planned on any of it, but I just kept telling myself I needed to like grow personally. And so that's kind of what came with it.
Yeah, just keep going, keep growing. And then this blossomed.
For sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then what advice would you give, or like wise words would you give to women that are too scared to compete? They want to, but they're too scared. You know, they're in the beginning, maybe white or blue belt. Like, what would you tell them?
For me, it's really just about taking the pressure off of it, especially coming up in the lower belts. It depends on who you surround yourself with. Some people are very like intense about you needing to win competitions, and like they put pressure on you, but you just need to remind yourself that really it's all about your personal journey, and it's just a way that you can challenge yourself personally. It doesn't really matter the results at the end of the day, and just use it as a tool to like develop not only your jiu-jitsu but just your mindset. And so I think focusing on that and having fun is a lot more important than focusing on results.
Yeah, use it as a tool. Nice, to develop your jiu-jitsu. I like that. Okay, so what is, like, I guess that would be one of the major obstacles that you came up with, that you overcame, like the anxiety and the not talking to people and the body image. Is that your biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome in your jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I mean, luckily I've never had a serious injury, but I think the biggest obstacle for a lot of us is always our own mindset. So I think the biggest obstacle for me has always been, you know, anxiety, mindset, competition mindset, and just all of those internal struggles and thoughts that we all go through. So I think that has been my biggest challenge, but in a way it's great because, you know, actively going and competing is also the best way to kind of fix that challenge and grow. So it works together and it just helps you grow. Yeah.
Awesome. And then, you know, you just had your match here at West Coast Trials. How your second match? How was it? I was watching you, but how did it feel for you?
Yeah, it felt good. I was excited to see how I felt at the weight class. Last trials, like I said, I got to semifinals, but the weight class was the 60 kilos, so it was 132. So this is about 10 pounds less than that. So I did a huge cut, and I felt pretty big. I felt fine with the weight cut, and I felt bigger, so it was kind of nice to not always be the smaller one, because I tend to fight up. Like at Worlds I did lightweight, even though I'm not really lightweight, I'm kind of in the middle, so it was cool to be like a little bigger, so I'm excited. And
then did you feel like, because I've noticed that like a lot of the top black belt girls, like, do you feel like it's hard to get a submission? Because like you have all these random girls, but I did notice that a lot of the black belt women have to go into overtime or only won by points. Yeah. Like I rarely see that, so it's weird to see it. Like, there's just so many dark horses.
Yeah, and I think part of that's also the rule set of ADCC is very different. For one, black belts in IBJJF, we're used to like 10 minutes, right? So we have a lot of time to kind of set things up and cook your opponent and figure out those things. And also there's huge passivity warnings in ADCC, so they want action all the time. So really, you only have 3 minutes to get any points and 6 minutes total to get a submission, but you also can't stall, and the rule set's very different too, and it's harder to score in general. So I think all of those things combined just make it a little bit harder to just get submissions, right? So I think that's why we're seeing that as well as the you have to wrestle in the points, right? So a lot of people, you know, aren't necessarily wrestlers, and they get to that overtime and they have to either find a way to pull guard or they have to sit there and try to figure out how to get takedown points, and that's hard to do.
And what's your favorite rule set?
This rule set. I love it. Yeah,
It's such a challenge. It looks so hard. Like everybody looks like they were fighting tooth and nail.
It's super hard to score. I mean, you have to very clearly put people in positions, hold the positions. I had to like get the girl back into mount like 5 times just because one shoulder started getting off the mat.
You're like, God damn it.
I know, I'm like, just stay, and then I'm counting in my head. So it's hard to score. Plus, if you just turtle, it just nullifies anything, right? So everyone's just turtling, everyone's just fighting as hard as they can to just keep the movement going. And the battle is to like stop that movement.
Stop moving.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's like 70% of the back has to be has to be pinned or something.
Yeah, hips have to be down, full back almost has to be down 75%. It's rough out there.
It's definitely hard to pin people down too. Like it's hard. But that's awesome. Okay, so now just some fun questions. Okay, so what's like a fun fact about you?
Fun fact about me, I've lived in like 8 different states. Yeah, I've moved around the entire U.S. like growing up. So that's interesting. I've been in a lot of places. So I've been all over the Southwest, Midwest. I'm born in Iowa.
You were born in Iowa? Wow, random ass state.
I know. Hey, but we have the wrestling. We do have wrestling there. We have cornfields and wrestling. Okay, top.
What was your favorite state?
San Diego kills everyone.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
San Diego is just beautiful. You can't, especially for a jiu-jitsu athlete, it's kind of heaven. So that's kind of, I'm happy.
There's a lot of schools over there and stuff.
Throw a rock and you're like, oh shoot, there's like 5 schools right there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't really like checked out the jiu-jitsu scene too much, except the one time I went for like Worlds, like 2018.
Oh yeah, up in Long Beach.
Yeah, I haven't been back since 2018
100%.
for that, but that was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. What's your favorite thing to do for fun outside of BJJ?
For fun, I mean, it's all like very active stuff. I'm a huge reader. I love hiking. I bike a lot. Like my favorite thing to do is just like take my bike out and bike around San Diego and be by the beach, be by the ocean. I like traveling and like I like scuba diving. So pretty much anything active, being outside, being with friends. Simple stuff. Yeah, simple stuff.
Simple? No,
yeah.
Scuba diving is not simple.
Yeah. Okay, fair. That one's not that simple, but
not that simple.
Anything in nature, big nature person.
Yeah, me too. I love nature. Hippie mode.
Yep.
Okay, and then let's see. Armbar or heel hook?
I love heel hooks, but you're picking my other favorite. I love arm bars too. I say I'm more of like a leg locker kind of, but man, my white through blue belt, the only submission I hit was just armbar, just everywhere. So I actually kind of want to bring that back. Nice. Little armbar round too.
Yeah, I was talking about it with somebody else. Like it just looks cool. Like arm bars look flashy and it's really super awesome.
I'm kind of over the heel hook stuff sometimes because then people are just rolling too, and like arm bars just solid.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting better at rolling out of heel hooks.
These girls be slippery too. I'm not saying.
And we flexible. Oh, you mean like lotion? I mean, some girls do
that. If you're shaved and you are sweaty, heels are hard to hold on to. It really is. Shorts. Like, yeah, that's why I'm wearing shorts.
That's why I'm wearing shorts. They can't catch my heel.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, and then let me see what my other fun questions. Trying to remember. Okay, favorite submission.
I love a good head and arm choke.
Nice.
I love a good head.
Nice. I saw a lot of those today.
Yeah, I really like a submission where you can just slowly work it, and I like blood chokes and things that are very like concrete. You know, I think the ultimate submission is something where you're putting someone out. You know what I mean? Like that's decisive.
Yeah, because like other people are like, oh, you can just like break your joint basically and escape.
Exactly. Yeah, you can let it break and whatever, but if you're out, you're out. Yeah, it's done.
It's done. Okay, and I probably know the answer to this question, but would you rather go to a rave/concert or stay home and watch some movies?
No, rave. Let's go. 100%. Yeah.
Finally, everyone else was like, I'm a homebody.
I am a homebody, but when I go out, it's like rave.
To party it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Me too. I have my moments, but I can't be a homebody for too long.
No, yeah. I'm like the sober rave mom too, because I don't drink or anything like that, but I'm the mom, but I still have fun.
Awesome. Okay, last question. What's your zodiac sign?
Virgo.
Another Virgo?
Yeah,
damn, that's the third one now.
By Virgos. My dad, a lot of Virgos in my life.
Yeah, there's a lot of Virgos in Jiu-Jitsu and a lot of water signs in Jiu-Jitsu.
Kind of makes sense.
That's like the most common I've seen.
Yeah, kind of makes sense. I'm very detail-oriented,
Love analyzing.
So that makes sense.
Love picking apart the puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
Finding more solutions, setting goals, accomplishing goals.
Very much so.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch you tomorrow.
much.
Good job today
Yeah,
for making
thank
it to
you.
the second day. Thank you for talking to me.
Yeah.
Again, guys, Amanda Bruse. Keep an eye on her. She's doing great. She was on main character Jiu-Jitsu. If you missed that, she did great there too. I got so confused when they like lifted your hand. I was like, wait, what happened?
Dude, I know. I don't even know.
You looked confused. It was funny.
I was out of it.
I was out of it. But don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And thanks for watching. Jiu-Jitsu Sisterhood out. Bye.